Hello and welcome to episode 28 of the TEW 2020 New Japan Pro Wrestling series here on the channel as we have the Royal Quest Tour, and it is one of the shortest tours that we'll have, basically the entire series, as it's only a 3-show tour, just because, we have a lot going on as far as we just had the Autumn Attack tour, and then we're going to have the Power Struggle tour after this, so it felt like this was a nice, small in type of tour. All the shows are going to be in the UK though, so that's going to be a lot of fun to see how we do as far as I think we'll probably keep it in England though, so really it's just going to be in England because it's only 3 tours. But I would like to maybe in the future bump it up to maybe 5 days, maybe even 6, if we are, because I think our roster would be good enough by that point to run a show like that, or at least popularity in elsewhere. If we, want to run some shows in Scotland, maybe run some shows in Ireland, just kind of some ideas to toy around with. As for the card here, we have our opener, Shelton Benjamin, Christian Casanova, Fred Yehai, and Myron Reed of the Foundation taking on the Chaos team of all of Roppongi 3K, so Rocky Romero, Sho, Yo, and Akira Francesco, which just felt like, I think that's going to be a fun little kind of fringe junior matchup because obviously Shelton's more of a heavyweight guy, and Rocky, has been a lifer in the junior division. I don't think he'll ever move up because of his size, but I think it's going to be a pretty fun opener. And then right afterwards, we got Power E of the Foundation taking on Minoru Suzuki of Suzuki-gun. And it sucks, it's happened to Big E as far as real life here. Getting a broken neck, just off of a bump that wasn't really necessary, I don't think, for a TV taping. But who am I? But just sucks. Thankful that he's not having to have surgery. But that absolutely sucks, though. And that just hopefully this match here with Power E and Minoru Suzuki here should be pretty fun now. I think I'm excited to see how, as far as it not being a technical masterclass, because I think the opener is probably going to be a technical masterclass, but I guess technically this could be too. I just don't think it's going to work out. But he's got good enough pop in the UK for this to work, I think, in Power E, so should be pretty fun. And then the next matchup, 6-man of the Golden Elite of Kota Ibushi and the Young Bucks against Brody Lee, Evil, and Will Hobbs. Could be pretty exciting. I'm excited to see how that one plays out. And then Katsura Shibata versus Zack Sabre Jr. in a return match. As far as this was, of course, the grappling contest. This was, Katsura Shibata's return back to New Japan and to bring it back again. This time at Royal Quest in a actual match environment. I think should be a pretty fun matchup there. As then we have a junior heavyweight title matchup of Drew Parker taking on Pac. Of course, Pac was someone that him and Gresham was the main. I want to say maybe it wasn't even the main, but maybe it was the co-main. But either way, it was a pretty high octane matchup on the card. Now I think, even it being fourth from the top, so it's going to be kind of smack dab in the middle, which should be interesting because I think Pac and Drew Parker could have a really good match. But just with this card, it's pretty stacked, as our next matchup is Task Force Death versus House of Torture in a tag match as Ray Phoenix and Kenta taking on Jay White and Taiji Shimori. Of course, former Bullet Club stablemates of Jay White and Kenta battling it out for the first time since that happened, as far as having a tag match involving the two with Ray Phoenix and Taiji Shimori on each side. I'm excited to see how that one plays out. I think that should be a really good matchup. And then for the co-main event and a IWGP Tag Team title matchup, Tetsuya Naito and Sanada of Los Ingobernables de Japón taking on the champions of Shotaro Ashino and Joe Doring of Task Force Death. As a kind of, Task Force Death being all over this card, being in the junior heavyweight title matchup and, of course, the tag title matchup and, of course, the match before this with Kenta and Ray Phoenix. Excited to see how this one plays out, too. This should do really, really well. Sanada and Naito, we've done Sanada and Shingo in the past against Shotaro Ashino and Joe Doring, so we'll see how this one goes with Naito and Sanada, which I think should be really good. And our main event in a New Japan Strong open-weight, open challenge matchup as Miro, the champion, having an open challenge, and of course it's Sheamus. I think this should be a really fun one-time affair for Sheamus and Miro. We'll see how it goes as far as how their ratings are going to be and whatnot. But yeah, that is the card on paper here. And we'll get rid of all this. Oh, there we go. As, we only have, basically, I think it's Tuesday, and then Thursday, and then Friday is the actual final show. So it worked pretty jam-packed here. with how this is, schedule is. It's pretty cut and dry. So we'll hopefully try to get this out as far as within, and before even 45 minutes would be great. So we're kind of already at the 5-minute mark as Kazuchika Okada passing on psychology tips to Yuto Nakashima, and then Shibata passing on psychology tips to Kento Goben. How nice. As, yeah, we ran... And so, let's go back to where that was. I want to say, yeah, it was Southern England. 180 people at the last tour show we did last year. We'll see how we go with this time around. They have the Midlands. Because, I mean, I think we just ran Southern England for the most part, which about 256 people. We could probably go Northern England, though, for just the start of this tour and kind of work our way down. Just to change it up a little bit as the O2 Academy. And, because, I mean, yeah, I guess we could go to Riverside Nightclub in Newcastle. Because that's where we're going to run this show. The wrestling industry was doing pretty well, so was the economy, too. Our popularity just isn't quite there. I thought it would be just from... So we went to Japan. Yeah, because I want to say it has improved. I guess we didn't have to go through all that. But it actually has been stagnant since November of 2020. So we really haven't been improving at all throughout that time. So that sucks. But hopefully we have a pretty good show here. And hopefully, though, nobody gets hurt, though, at the same time. Because as for the opener, or maybe not even the opener, just a match to get us rocking and rolling here. I was thinking a 6-man with Jay White and then House of Torture Junior guys of Ishimori and Drew Parker. Nice. And then, of course, the Task Force Death Team, Kenta, Rey Fenix, and I guess we probably should put Pac over here. Pac, then Rey Fenix. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, because we're going to have Drew Parker actually get the win over Phoenix. But I think this should be a pretty good main event, I think, considering Pac's involved in it. And, his pop is pretty good as far as, yeah, mid-50s. Because I'm assuming Kenta's is kind of like in the 30s, probably. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, mid-50s, too. It's not a good... I mean, I'm assuming Jay White's is probably not that great. Well, low 40s, alright. Never mind. I got a lot of faith in this. Got a lot of faith. So, yeah, that's definitely going to be, the main. But I would like to see another House of Torture matchup. I'm not exactly sure what exactly, because I was thinking having Miro and Brody against someone as stuff. It's tough because I was thinking Super Island Destroyers. I mean, Jeff Cobb's pop's pretty nice, and about to say, I think we done this. Yeah, about to say we did this during the Road 2 show where we had Brody and Miro win. And of course, they got the rematch on the 5th day of the Wrestle Dynasty tour last month. So they've now had a match in Japan, have a match in America. Now they're gonna have a match in England. So that's going all over the place. But we are gonna give Cobb the win over Brody King. Just feel like that's fair. Maybe not that much time, though. We'll just give it 16. Won't be the co-main, but I think it's a pretty good spot, though. As, trying to think what else we could do. I guess a 6-man with, this should probably be another night's main event. Now I'm thinking about it, because I was going to have... Maybe not, though, because I don't think their pop is really that good. Sonata, Naito, and then Bushi versus Joe Doring, Shotaro Shino, and, of course, Pentagon Jr., since he's the only guy left. We'll give that 20. And, I'm assuming Bushi has better pop. Maybe not, though. Oh, yeah, his pop is not great. So this might be... Yeah, Pentagon Jr. is definitely more over there. So, yeah, we'll go with Pentagon Jr. beating Bushi. Alrighty. So, yeah, that's definitely our co-main. Main. We're, we got a little thing going with Task Force Death and even House of Torture, even. As far as for the top half of the card. As for the bottom half, man, it's tough because there's a lot of just great matches that we have lined up. It's kind of hard to really go with. I think as far as Roppongi 3K of Shounen versus Myron and Casanova. Just, steal the show matchup. And I'm curious to see how I'm assuming theirs is not great either. Yeah, 15. Assuming Christian Casanova's is not great either, since this was before he got sent. Yeah, and then probably Myron Reed's is probably pretty bad too. Yeah, so just a bunch of people that are not really over. So that should go swimmingly. But Show's gonna get the win over Casanova. Yeah, I mean, that match is gonna be a shit show. An absolute shit show. There we go. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could even... I was thinking maybe that having just be in the opener, but I don't know. But I think what would be fun would see Kingston with Shota Umino. Since Shota Umino did a little bit of a tour in the British Isles, even though it doesn't matter. Kingston, at least, hopefully will have some pop. Yeah, so that's good. I'm trying to think of who's not really on. Well, we can go with either Josh Alexander or Filthy Tom, whichever one has enough pop for this. Well, Josh Alexander definitely does. And Filthy Tom as well. So perfect. So yeah, we'll just go Filthy Tom and Garcia. Which I'm assuming he does not have. Yeah. He does not. Perfect. Exactly what we need. We'll have this be Technical Masterclass. As yeah, we'll just have Kingston beat Filthy Tom, I guess. Works for me. Yeah, we just need one more match. Yeah, just go with a normal tag, I guess. Yeah, John Silver's back. I don't think they have enough pop, though, to really for it to work. Fred Rosser a little bit. Maybe go Crime Time players. And United Rage. So I'm assuming both Katsuya Kitamura and Great Okan don't have enough pop. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this might also be bad as well. But it gets a win for the Great Okan. He's going to be Jason Paul. Yeah, that undercard's going to be pretty bad, but because of the pop, but I think the top half should save it. 32, yeah. As far as not enough overness, plus Filthy Tom was off his game. But everybody did pretty well, but Shota Umino there, as Eddie Kingston with the Back Fist of the Future in 1544. The 36 somehow was even a little bit better, as I look at Katsuya Kinemura with the 42, as Great Okan tapping out Jason Paul with the Cobra Clutch. Yeah, is what it is there. 51 somehow. I don't know how, but we did it. And Show pinning Christian Casanova with the Power Breaker in 1246. Everybody did pretty well. There's a fun little junior tag match there. Got the crowd buzzing too. 65 for Brody King and Miro against Jeff Cobb and Toa Henare. Yeah, Jeff Cobb getting the Toy of the Islands win over Brody King in 1544. It's a 68 for the sixth man of L.I.J. versus Task Force Death. I always forget to take off that top rope Styles Clash for Pentagon Jr., but that's okay. As, yeah, I mean, Shota Umino with a 70. It's really well. He did really well the last tour we did as far as when over in the UK, the last Royal Quest tour. So it was no surprise he was going to do well, but not a lot of great stuff from elsewhere, though. But I'm nervous about that tag team title match. What can you do, though? What can you do? It's a 74 main event, though. And, yeah, everybody on the Task Force Death team did really fucking good. So that's awesome. As far as a 75, a 72, and a 70 there. And House of Torture, though, do get the win as Drew Parker pinning Ray Phoenix after the diving foot stomp. So that's a 58, 56 for Jay White, and 61 for Ishimori, best guy in the match for the House of Torture team. But yeah, what a main event, though. What a main event indeed. As we got a 70, though. So we'll gladly take that. Much better than what we did last time. So that's a great sign, at least. We're just, we got to keep on improving as far as the New Japan World kind of broadcast over in the British Isles to really help us out. And plus, just running a tour here will definitely help out as well. So that's great. But, yeah, now we got to take a break, and we'll catch you guys for day 2 and then the final show here of the tour. Alright, for our last little tour show here of the with the Royal Quest tour, which is crazy to think. It's only it's such a short tour, but it's really working out well. That was Miro. Was brought for versus court, accused of being absorbed by his phone when he should have been paying attention to a locker room meeting, as the judge, Shusha the Liger, found him guilty and sentenced to buy a crate of beer for the locker room. It's the Milano Collection AT passing on psychology to Yazutaka Yano. As, for this tour, I think a match that we should probably build to, as we just did Northern England, so I'm thinking either it's tough, because I kind of want to run Wales, maybe? No, Wales would be too small. Because I want to keep Southern England off. But I think we might have to go to the Midlands, because Memorial Hall would be a sellout, so yeah, we'll just run that. Works for me. As, the Shibata Zack Sabre Jr. match could use, I guess, a little bit of build if you want to make it like a multi-man matchup. Have Shibata on one side, Zack on the other side. And, Zack obviously is going to do very, very well, because I think his pop is, pretty high. See, 50s. I thought it was a lot more than that, so that's... But it's still going to be a pretty good match, I think, because we're going to use Gresham and Makabe, which Gresham, I don't know as far as his pop goes. I think it's, mid-50s as well. Makabe is probably not that great, though, now I'm thinking about it. That's not bad, actually. All right. United Empire, looking great. As far as, who Shibata should use, I was thinking the LA Dojo kids, Coughlin and Connors, even though their pop is not going to be great in the UK. That's an idea. Maybe Ren Narita. And, yeah, because I think it is just going to be Coughlin and Connors. That's just probably the best there. They're not young lions anymore, so we should probably change the gimmicks around and, get something going for them. We'll pencil that in as the main event. I don't feel great about it, but it is what it is, as Coughlin's going to take the fall from Zack Sabre Jr. there. Maybe Gresham, since he could use the win. I know Zack's going to do really well in that match, so. But that's the penciled in main event. We could do something as far as Ibushi with one of the Bucks. It could be like Matt or Nick, either way. We could even just do the Bucks. Do the Bucks against Brody and Evil. I'm about to say, we did this once at the Tag League, and it was a 71. This time, though, Brody and Evil are going to get the win, as Evil will be beating Matt Jackson, actually. for Matt Jackson. Taking the fall there. Because we saw Brody was doing kind of like... Alright, yeah, he's mid-50s. Evil's probably isn't that great, if I had to guess. I mean, 35s, I guess that's not terrible. Definitely the Bucks are probably way higher, though. Yeah, 47s, actually. That's not bad. Alright. I mean, it's... Barring Evil's performance, this could be really, really good. I'm going to put this as the main for now. Just kind of see what we got going forward. As then, probably... You know, we've done this a lot, so I kind of feel bad doing it. But Power E and Shelton against Suzuki and David Boy Smith Jr. Because, yeah, we've done this... Oh, no, we've never done this before. I was thinking we had done this tag match. Oh, well, this is a really good match, though. We're going to keep it at 16. And we're going to have Davey Boy get the win. He's going to beat Shelton Benjamin. Look at that. Getting a win. The son of the British Bulldog. So that's a pretty good top 3. As far as our bottom 3 here. I'm just kind of curious what we did. Yeah, we did the Rampage Brown Kingston match, which that's a great match on paper, but didn't pan out well. It's just kind of funny how a lot of that is looking. As for the bottom half of the card, I would like... I'm not exactly sure... Yeah, we'll go with 6-man. So we'll go Christian Casanova, Fred Yehai, and Myron. Against all of Roppongi 3K, so Rocky with Show and Yo. And we're going to give Rocky the win. Doesn't really matter who takes the fall there. So just need one more and then a technical masterclass match. Which, thinking as far as doing Gavin McGavin, Corey Jarvis. And then, let's see who could be on the undercard to face these guys. And it makes sense. We could go with Hobbs. And thinking if we use Reynolds or... I guess we don't have to do that. We can go with a Chaos matchup. Could go with Yano. That'd be kind of fun. Yeah, we can go with Yano and Francesco, I guess. Yeah, I mean, this is a shit show, but we won't have this be the technical masterclass match. This should be the normal undercard matchup. Man, as far as... Francesco definitely probably will have probably the best pop out of anyone in this match in the British Isles. So he should probably get the win here. As, yeah, he can beat Gavin McGavin. There we go. Now the Tactical Masterclass matchup. Yeah, I don't think Kaisha Dama's gonna have enough. Oh, he's barely got enough. It's an idea. Because I was thinking do him and Hammerstone. I think Hammerstone's probably doesn't have... Yeah. Them, and then for a Liberty United matchup as far as... Yeah, this is a tough one. We can go Tai Chi and Despy, I guess. Yeah, Tai Chi's is terrible. I'm sure Despy's is too. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's just... This is just certainly a match. But we'll have Hammerstone beat Tai Chi, actually, so that's a huge win for him. Shout out Tai Chi. Putting the kid over. But yeah, let's run the show here. 37 So yeah, just not enough, in between there, but not bad for the in-ring performances. Yeah, Kaiju Yamato did the best. Probably should have said Tomato beat Despy there, but that's okay. Somehow got the shove to strong start. So that's great. As Toriano and Akira Francesco against Corey Jarvis and Gavin McGavin. As Francesco with the Akira Salt in 11:41. As yeah, Francesco best guy in the match. Yano and Gavin McGavin actually did pretty well. Just Corey Jarvis was off his game. 52 here for the Foundation versus Chaos as Rocky pinning Christian Casanova with the Foreign Devil. Poor Christian Casanova, because he really didn't deserve it that time. That should have been Myron Reed's loss, because he was the best guy in the match for the Foundation. That's great for Christian Casanova. The 63 for Minoru Suzuki and Dave Boy Smith Jr. As Power E and Shelton Benjamin as Dave Boy Smith Jr. with a Saito suplex over Shelton Benjamin in 15:32. So yeah, you see Power E with a 65. That's really good. Shelton with a 54, Davey with a 50, and a 42 for Suzuki there. Not bad. As a 65, as for Katsura Shibata with Coughlin and Connors against United Empire, as United Empire getting the win, as Gresham with the spike driver on Alex Coughlin in 1948. So yeah, I mean, actually, Zack Sabre wasn't even the best guy in the match as Daniel Makabe. That's crazy. As yeah, but Gresham did really well. United Empire just really solidifying that they're a top stable for sure. And then the LA Dojo Boys with Katsura Shibata, just that ain't it. That ain't it. But the main event is 72 here for the Bucks against Brody and Evil. As Evil with the Banshee muzzle on Matt Jackson 2002. Tough loss for the Bucks, but I think it's fine. It helps build up Brody Lee and Evil as well. I think it's a great decision, though. Great main event, though. And we gained some pop, too, out of it, so that's nice. Alright, so now we got our final show here. Just like that. Seems like we just sat down, and we're already on our way to the final show, as now the game's wanting to crash. Thanks a lot, Brandon Cutler. You, the one who caused this. But yeah, we'll just stop the recording just to be safe. Yeah, we'll catch you guys for the final show. Alright, so I had it right as far as Gresham in the main event, but it was not Pac. It was actually Virginia's, the Never Point title matchup. Just funny, coming full circle with them, obviously being a part of the United Empire. As, yeah, I'm just looking at this. It's a 10-match card, which is weird. I went through the 8, and I was like, we should probably add some stuff. Because I don't exactly remember what was planned or what wasn't from that time period. But if I had to guess, one of these had to have been added, and then probably this or this was probably added too. Would have been my guess. As this is just going to be an 8-match card. I don't know why we keep on having Cablevision, but fuck it. Midas. Well, I'm just kind of curious. So that's small. So they could definitely use an upgrade. I know right now we are at the $11 million mark as far as our finances, which, I think we could probably use another upgrade relatively soon. I know we just upgraded the British Isles anyways, so before this tour. So I think that helped out a little bit, hopefully, as Backstage Incident's Milano Collection AT passing on, selling to his protege, Yazutaka Yano. As for the venue here, I wish we would run somewhere there, but no, it was Southern England. So yeah, we ran the Electric Ballroom. That's where Progress would run their shows. As it was 906 people, so it'll be a sellout this time, so that's cool. Just kind of curious what else we could kind of run to. Oh, a Victorian-style dome. That's cool. York Hall would be a little bit more people in there. That'd be interesting. As far as extra, not even 250 people. But I think that'd probably be it. I guess we can go with the casino rooms. It's in Rochester, England. So we could either go sellout or... Yeah, no sellout. I'm gonna go with the sellout, though. I think that's probably for the best. So I was thinking it was 1,000. Also, this is actually more. Jesus, constructed in 1890. Old-ass venue. There's another old-ass venue, too. Alright. As for, of course, main event with our, let's see, where is that, Sheamus O'Shaughnessy, the Open Challenge. We'll see how Sheamus does. Obviously, it's going to be kind of like a lone basis with AEW if we're ever going to bring him in again. But hey, we have him for this one-time matchup with Miro. If that's the case, hey, it is what it is. No big deal. I'm fine with it. But as far as now, the rest of the card, which I think that match should go really well. Sheamus and Miro, as for our tag title matchup of Sonata and Naito, taking on Task Force Death. So Shotaro Ashino is actually going to beat Naito. The plan is because Naito, for those who remember, at the New Japan Cup this year, Naito beat Shotaro Ashino in a singles match, and I want to have another match at either Destruction in Hiroshima or Kobe. Either way, I think it'll be a lot of fun to see. But that's another defense for the tag champs, which I believe that makes it 4. Way off. But 4 successful defenses is pretty good for a team that's had the belt since April, too. That's awesome. I was a little unhappy about that. I had a feeling that might happen, so we'll just keep him strong. That's no big deal. We saw how they did. Really, Shotaro Ashino was probably the best guy, so it should still be an okay matchup. It's Jay White and Taiji Shimori, House of Torture, taking on Task Force Death. So Jay White's actually going to beat Kenta, which will lead to Power Struggle, main event, Jay White, Kenta for the belt. Makes sense, Kenta turned his back on him. Jay White gets a little revenge here, and they get the title match now to end out the show of Power Struggle. So I think that's a pretty fun main event for a Power Struggle show too. So we'll see how that goes there. But then our junior heavyweight title matchup as Drew Parker and Pac. Pac's gonna get the win. It's going 20, and obviously Pac's reign has been incredible. I mean, he's had the belt literally since since January, and it's been a hell of a run, for sure. To think he's had the belt for that long, he'll make a 7th defense. He's really been the guy in the junior division, that is for sure. And adds another name to the list as well with that. Then the Shibata Zack Sabre Jr. matchup, but before that, actually after that rather, Zack Sabre Jr., after the successful win, he's going to challenge Kazuchika Okada, who will not be appearing, but Okada, a guy who has been a bit of a, obviously, staple and face of New Japan, and Zack Sabre Jr. challenges him to a U.S. title matchup, and even says that he's, when he wins it, he's going to bring the belt back home, and it's not going to be the U.S. title anymore. It's going to be the British Commonwealth Championship, as just something along those lines. As he's talking about how he's been a New Japan strong openweight champion. He's been a never openweight champion, and he's gonna be a British Commonwealth or just a British Commonwealth champion rather. It's not an openweight, but you get the gist of it. As the 6-man Golden Elite versus Dark Order. As Dark Order are going to get the win over Golden Elite, which is pretty crazy, as Brody's going to beat Matt Jackson. Poor Matt Jackson, taking a lot of losses here. We'll let that be Nick instead. Nick's going to be a little unhappy by that, but I think this is a really good matchup, though. For sure. The Young Bucks going to really do well. Ibushi, I think, has pretty good pop, and yeah, mid-40s, that's not bad at all. So that's something for the Dark Order there. And Power E. Oh, I forgot the Shibata Zack Sabre Jr. matches. Power E beating Minoru Suzuki in 17 minutes. We know how he's going to do. Suzuki obviously coming towards the tail end of his career in this mod, unfortunately. So we're just kind of... Oh, and Suzuki is super pissed. We'll keep him strong. There we go. So we'll add the Shibata Zack Sabre Jr. match, which, of course, Zack's going to beat Shibata. Another... Shibata's upset by that as well. We got a lot of unhappy campers. A lot of the Japanese talent losing this show, which is a bit unfortunate, but I'd say just about everybody who's losing like, Shibata and Zack and Suzuki and Power E, all those guys are going to get outperformed by the Gaijin talent, so it's fine, I think. As then our opener, the 8-man of the Foundation versus Chaos, and Rocky is going to get the win over Myron Reed. Given it 16, it's going to be a technical masterclass. Just fingers fucking crossed on that one. But yeah, that is the show. We'll add a couple of pre-show matches just to, do them, just to add a little bit of spice to this show, if we can. So, it's interesting because Hiromu's not on the card, neither is Shingo. Obviously, Okada's on the card. There's a lot of big names that are not on this card. But I think the talent has really proved that we can carry it no matter what. I would like to see Hanare and Jeff Cobb again. I don't know why I went with this side, but doing it like that, but we'll take it. And then just over Coughlin and Connors. This time Toinari can get the win. As we'll cut it down for time. For sure, like 12 minutes. But yeah, there's the first match. Second one, maybe another tag, to be honest. I was thinking Yazutaka and Yuto Nakashima against Yuya Uemura and Ren Narita. It's kind of like I guess that's two Young Lion classes away from each other as far as recent Young Lions. And then obviously current ones, give it 10. And I guess it doesn't really, I haven't really seen what Uemura has been able to do. He's been working 0-1 for a little bit. I kind of let that slide for now. As far as, he's just only doing like mid-30s for 0-1. That's a Noah. It's crazy. He faces Masato Tanaka, though, in the United National Heavyweight title matchup. So that's good for him. Just helping improve Uemura's. Because our roster's so big anyways, might as well, right? Might as well have those young guys be able to work somewhere else. Alright. That's the show. Let's run it. The 34 for Ren Narita and Uemura. As Uemura of the Boston Crab at 9:31. He's still using the Young Lion moves. I'll have to kind of think of something there. As far as a finish, a 56 for Jeff Cobb and Toinari against Coughlin Connors. 43s there as Toinari with the spinning Spine Buster in 11:48. 54 for the Foundation versus Chaos to open up the show was Rocky Romero with Foreign Devil. In 15:46, best guy in the match was Shelton Benjamin. And then Rocky Romero, then everybody else is, just carrying down the line. Yo, Fred Yehai, Sho, Francesco, Myron Reed, and Christian Casanova. It's a 60 for Power E versus Minoru Suzuki, as Suzuki taking the big ending in 16:34. Yeah, a 40 for Suzuki. That's tough. 70 for the 6-man, as obviously it was going to be too short because we said it for stealing the show, but Kotobushi was the best guy in the match. So there is that. But Brody with the Brody Bomb, and he pins Nick Jackson, even though Nick outperformed him. Brody did really well, just, Hobbs and Evil not at that level, but it's still a fun little match, though. 70, we'll take it for sure. Got the crowd buzzing, too. And we got another 70 for Zack Sabre Jr. and Katsuyori Shibata, as Zack beating Shibata with the European clutch in 22:57. So that's good, carrying the momentum of the previous matchup. Yeah, I mean, Zack Sabre Jr., that didn't work out well, but that's okay. We get it back, though, with this, as Drew Parker and Pac have great chemistry, so that's great. Got a 78, too, so that's really, really cool. Should have gave this, as far as probably higher on the card. It's probably going to do better than the co-main, so there is that. Great match, though, is the Shooting Star Senton for Pac in 2029. It's a 77 for Jay White and Taiji Ishimori against Kenta and Rey Fenix. It's Jay White with the Blade Runner on the IWGP Heavyweight Champion. So yeah, Phoenix, best guy in the match. Kenta, then Jay White, and then Ishimori. 73 for the tag team title matchup as Shotaro Ashino and Joe Doring at Task Force Death, getting the win as in 23 minutes when Shotaro Ashino pinned Tetsuya Naito after the Avalanche T-Bone suplex. Ashino, best guy in the match, followed by Naito, then Joe Doring, then Sonata. So yeah, right decision for sure. Main event, fingers crossed, and 80 we'll take it as Miro making his first defense of the as the New Japan a strong openweight title, as Miro getting the win with the game over in 26:03. Fun debut for Sheamus. He was off his game, but he definitely outperformed Miro, and I think that's just a fun main event, though. Obviously, very WWE, but still, I think in in a setting like that where they're just beating the shit out of each other, two beefy boys, just beating the shit out of each other. That's basically what would be the premise of that, and I think those guys could definitely deliver. I think Sheamus too, like Sheamus would be perfect for that type of style of matchup. And so yeah, I mean, sure we lost Pop in Japan, which sucks, but all in all, I'm very happy with this card for what I wanted it to be. Obviously, the big thing I'd want to change is flipping out Pac, Drew Parker with the co-main, but we'd have to also switch Jay White and Ishimori and Kenta Ray Phoenix. We have to push that down as well, which is fine. But really, we had a lot of stuff that did really, really well from the majority of this card. Did really, really well, so I'll gladly take it. I'm very happy with it. As well, Sheamus, hey, thanks for coming in, putting the guy over. See you down the road. As then probably a Shino for what he's done. His match, and then also Pac again for just what a performance. Him and Drew Parker having a banger of a matchup. That was awesome. As thank you all for watching, as we'll catch you guys next time. For now, the Power Struggle Tour, you're kind of seeing where we're going with this. That's obviously the Jay White Kenta match as the main event. Also, we're wanting to have, as far as for Power Struggle, do Brody Lee and Evil against Satoru Shino and Joe Doring, since they had beaten the Young Bucks on that tour. I just feel like that'd be a great way to build those guys up and get them going. Obviously, also Zack Sabre Jr. and Kazuchika Okada are also going to have Pac take on Hiromu Takahashi in an Intercontinental title matchup, since Pac had beaten Hiromu during the G1. Just makes sense, from that perspective as far as that goes. But yeah, because Pac, as far as really with him and I actually want to say, that's right, they had the time limit draw. That's what it was. I was like, I don't think he actually beat him. I think it was the time limit draw. So I'm glad I corrected myself. So because it went 30, there was not a winner, and because Pac keeps on winning his junior heavyweight title matches, just makes sense to have that as a Intercontinental title matchup too. That's going to be really fun. And yeah, I think that's as far as I think those are the big time matches for Power Struggle. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Take care, everyone.